To make small groups work in the large class, we need to give students more to do. This helps them feel valued and capable. It also frees the teacher up to concentrate on instruction. First, we'll talk about general responsibilities that a class monitor or team leader can take on, letting the teacher focus more on teaching. Secondly, we'll talk about roles students can play within their small groups while doing activities. This makes small groups more successful in terms of student learning. Whether you have one student leader who is the monitor for the whole class, or leaders within long-term teams, they can help with organizational tasks. Let them take attendance, distribute materials, collect homework, and so on. Responsible and capable students can also remind students of instructions. What should we do first? What are we supposed to say? Is there something we need to turn in? Let the team leaders answer such questions. These leaders can also help when students are moving around. If you have used cards to put students into new groups and there's a lost student looking around, a team leader can be the one to say to that lost student, "Your card is number 4, you're in that corner." Finally, these leaders can help track noise level, pointing to a noise meter reminder so classmates will speak more quietly, and they can also pay attention to the time. This lets the teacher concentrate more on the students and the language they are using. Teacher complaints about small group activities might include, "The best student does everything and no one else participates," or "Everyone just sits around and no one does the task." One way to avoid such problems is to give every student in each small group a role. This is especially important during longer activities, ones that last 10 minutes or more. There are lots of possible roles, including leader, timekeeper, and reporter. The roles you choose will depend on the age of the students and the goals of the class. The roles students need to take will also depend on the activity. For example, in an activity where students in groups of 6 are giving advice to characters they read about on a handout, there might be 6 different roles, including a teaching point monitor who listens to see if students are using the phrases, "It's a good idea to," or they could try assuming that each student in a group has a number, either because it's their regular number in their long-term team or because they formed groups by numbering off. Numbers are a way the teacher can assign the 6 roles to individuals in the group. And don't forget to make a plan for what to do if a student is absent. Another example is students in a small group using cue cards to practice the past tense. In this activity, there might be 4 roles: materials person, leader, English monitor, and teaching point monitor. Not everyone needs a role, so groups can be 4, 5, or 6 students. Taking on a role and doing it in English isn't something students can automatically do. You have to train them. If you want leaders to make sure everyone participates, for example, include that in your training. Students also need to know the English phrases to carry out their roles. A timekeeper might need phrases like, "It's time to do the next question," or "There are 5 minutes left," for example. Which students should take on which roles? In a large class, the easiest way is to do it randomly. For example, in one activity, the number 2 students are all the leaders. In another activity, the number 6 students might be the leaders, and so on. However, if you think it's important that certain students take on certain roles, for example, that the higher level students in each group be the reporters, you can assign roles. The more students themselves can do, the more the teachers will have time for teaching, feedback, and interaction with students. The students will also grow in their ability to use English and their overall responsibility.